What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. I try to do as many uploads as I can each day, but at least one at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for joining. These are my two kids. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I started this channel in large part because of my kids. I don't think I would even have started this YouTube channel if it weren't for my kids. Starting a channel is risky. This is not my job. I have not made any money off of this. It's really just for me to get my thoughts out. But after the George Floyd stuff from last year, and I don't mean stuff to diminish it, but all that stuff with what happened after George Floyd, it really blew up, and it was more about, it wasn't just George Floyd, it was the pandemic and race relations and all kinds of stuff boiling up. I had to get my voice out there because I didn't hear enough voices to have a discussion. I only heard one voice. And I wanted to get my voice out there for my kids. But when I think about it, I think about their future and what they're going to come up in. I think about it, if my biggest concerns for my children are, some of these new teachings going on in school and Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff, I'm blessed. If that's my biggest concern for my kids, and it's not getting a roof over their head, and it's not a strained relationship, and it's not them at this point, they're young, doing drugs or something else. If that's my biggest concern, then I'm doing okay. And this article got my attention. Columbia leaders back guaranteed income project to give Midlands fathers monthly stipend. So this is on the topic of universal basic income applied specifically to fathers seeking help. It also was an interesting topic to me because I saw the video that they did about it. I'm going to play it here. And it doesn't have many likes or dislikes, so it's not a huge sample size, but the like to dislike ratio wasn't good.
Everyone just wants an opportunity in life, just a shot.
Mayors for Guaranteed Income has announced $18 million in donations from Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey to help support community members in need. Mayor Steve Benjamin announced that the funding coming to Columbia will go towards a new program that will give hundreds of dollars to local fathers.
We stepped up, decided to participate, and as a result now it's turned into a $600,000 award, which gets us almost halfway to our goal of raising $1.4 million, all privately.
Partnering with the Central Carolina Community Foundation and Midlands Fatherhood Coalition, 100 men will be part of the pilot program called Columbia Life Improvement Monetary Boost, or CLIMB, and will receive $500 a month for 2 years.
It's a wonderful way to say, okay, you're doing the things that you should be doing. And this community wants to support you and helping you get there. And as a result, we will be benefiting our education ecosystem. We'll be working to create a safer community. Your children will get a chance to live up to their God-given potential. And we'll be laying out Columbia as what we believe it should be. A city ought to be a platform for human potential.
We will continue to keep you updated on this program as it progresses.
So I want to give a shout out to Jack Dorsey. I think that's an excellent way of, place to put money. Not that it's my decision where he puts his money. I just want to give him the feedback that I appreciate seeing that a lot. That's not a small thing. I don't know if that was clear. The comments in response to the program had concerns in it, and that's fine. These are what we have to talk about. South Carolina going into the toilet. I don't know if that's necessarily saying they don't like this program that will give $500 a month to 100 chosen fathers in this Midlands Fathers program. Nothing in this world is free. You can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach him to fish and feed him for a lifetime. Good old Mayor Steve, in lockstep with the Democrats, throwing money at problems doesn't fix problems, just makes them bigger. That's a legitimate feedback. That's feedback against a universal basic income type of program. I would beg to differ. $500 a month is not going to change your life. I mean, as far as that's not going to make you not get a job and live high in the hog and get a Lambo. That's $500 a month. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to give you more flexibility. You're still going to have to work, but maybe you can hold out a little bit longer and wait for a better job. Terrible idea, sorry. Plus, this climb idea group didn't have to be broadcasted. It's for a select 100, which isn't reasonable. A program to help find work or extra training for a career would be best for those guys. What the hell is wrong with this? Everything. So I'm going to read about it. My understanding is that is still a part of this. The $500 isn't just throwing money at it to solve everything. And keep in mind, if this program is to try it out to only give $500 a month in the future to select people in our society, then I'm not for it. I am for a universal basic income eventually for every citizen, and trying it out on a group of 100 fathers who are trying to do the right thing because they're a part of this Midlands Fathers program is an excellent place to start. Let me read the article a little bit, not all of it, just a little bit of tidbits from the article here so you can get a little bit more backstory on it. 100 fathers who are Columbia residents and enrolled in the nonprofit Midlands Fatherhood Coalition will be selected at random to receive the money. The organization offers employment coaching, help in navigating child support, and other legal issues, and group sessions for fathers to talk with each other, among other programs aimed at fathers and families in Richland, Lexington, Fairfield, and Sumter counties. Spending will be tracked on debit cards. Nothing in life is free. They're not just giving the money, they've got to track it because we want to see what you do. And we want to be able to come back after a year or 2 years and say, hey, well, I don't know, they spent it on video games, it didn't work, or whatever the case may be. To use to evaluate the effectiveness of the program. So the Mayor Steve Benjamin, is a part of a national group of mayors for a guaranteed income that advocates for a baseline unconditional payment supporters say would supplement earned wages and help lift people out of poverty and promote household stability. I completely agree. Now, let me reiterate again. I've done a video on UBI, Universal Basic Income. My approach is I don't want to destroy is such a negative term. You eliminate all other social safety net programs. You don't do universal basic income and welfare. You don't do universal basic income and Section 8. If someone is proposing to do all of those social safety net programs, I include unemployment. But here's what I say. I disability, unemployment, all of them gone for me. But then what I will say is if you don't agree with disability, for example, because that is a tough one, then I say eliminate as many as you're comfortable with, and that's the money you have for universal basic income. It is not adding more dollars to circulation for me. So if anybody's saying that it adds money to circulation, I'm out. That's not what I'm proposing. Very big distinction. Because if you add more money to circulation, obviously that's inflation. If you keep this money in circulation the same, then you will, in theory, in economic theory, you would not have inflation. But that's the basics of it. Organizers have begun selecting participants with payments expected to begin by the end of the summer. So no public money, again, is Jack Dorsey donated to this. No public money is being used to fund the pilot program. So they're gonna. This is probably the strongest part of it beyond the money. Even if your city doesn't do a universal basic income, they should be doing this. Observers will record the money's effect on participants' employment, housing, mental and physical well-being, and the interaction between fathers and their children. Why aren't we already doing that in our cities? Obviously, something is not right with people rioting or protesting for any little thing, don't even know the details of it. Something's not right. And I'm going to end with this. There's a cost to everything. Please tell me if you agree with this program, if you want to give a shout out, do you agree with me to give props and respect to Jack Dorsey for donating his money. I don't care if it's a tax write-off. It's still donating money. I'm not going to, diminish it because of that. There's a cost to everything. But let me show you real quick I forgot I wanted to do this. This is the Midlands Fatherhood Coalition website. It says dads make a difference. This is not a race thing. You don't have to be black. That's another big thing. I'm not in for anything that says you have to be this identity group to get it. I'm out. I support every identity group. And I know we're in a world where people want to say you're a bigot if you disagree with anything with any identity group. That stuff needs to stop. I'm very much tired of the label of bigot for disagreement. I can disagree with you. Don't call me a bigot. I am for for example, I digress real quick. On Twitter, the Juneteenth hashtag. I don't know if I'm right or not, but maybe I'm wrong. The hashtag has pride colors. The Juneteenth hashtag, let me look it up real quick. The Juneteenth hashtag I think it has pride colors in it. And the fist. So the fist is a problem by itself, but why does it have I don't know. They're doing this intersectionality. This is a part of critical race theory, like literally. Excuse me. I did a video on that. This intersecting different identity groups. What does the pride, if I don't know if that's the pride colors or not. I have to look that up. But I don't understand what that has to do with Juneteenth. That's the celebrating the unofficial liberation of slaves. And when they found out in Texas years after it really was announced, I have no idea what pride has to do with that. Pride support is great, but that doesn't need to be with the hashtag. And you're not bigoted if you're questioning what's going on. So, this is the work here. In addition to supporting fathers and families, we're a resource to businesses seeking ready-to-work employees. So the concerns from that YouTube video, they're here. This is the group working on those things, the resumes, getting the job. The government's just doing a test to see if universal basic income will help support the work, basically, that this group is doing. And if you can show that, then you can expand it. Universal basic income is not coming from the government. The government is federal government. It's so slow. They don't even know they can't do much. So it's not coming from them. There's a cost for everything. I don't know if you saw this video. This video I'm going to show is very disturbing. I'm not going to play any audio. I don't think there was audio, but maybe there was actually. I'm not easily disturbed, but this video is very disturbing. This is shooting in broad daylight. I'm not even going to play the whole video. In New York, you might have already seen it. Shooting in broad daylight. So I don't know if that has to do with fathers or not, but this is at least an attempt to get to the heart. Like when you go outside and you try to weed your lawn or your garden, you've got to get the roots. So the police go out and they find that guy, or maybe there's enough police presence to hopefully subdue that guy before he hurts somebody who's doing that shooting. That's like just taking the weed above ground. The roots are still there. It's just going to rise on up. There's going to be another young man shooting out in the middle of daylight. You're never going to stop it totally. But what they're doing in South Carolina is trying to get the roots. We're trying to get the roots. You got to get the roots out of the ground, and then the weed won't come back again. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for listening. Take care.